Hi, my name is Bruce Rasmussen. I'm president of Rasmussen Mechanical Services, and we're here today to talk to you a little bit about our portable boiler group. Now, we're going to be looking at Unit 154, which is 250 horse or about 8,600 pounds per hour of high pressure steam, or up to about 135 pound operating pressure. What makes this particular unit unique is that we are also able to deliver hot water, somewhere around 180, 200 gallon per minute of 140, 180, or 200 degree water, whatever you would require for your process. And all the connections are pretty easy to get to. So we're going to be going through the intimate details and explain to you why this is a complete boiler system and not just a boiler in a trailer or a box. It's got the softener, it's got the boiler feed pump and tank heater, it's got the chemical treatment, it's got the whole package, the hot water generator, and even the pumps to pump the hot water through the system, so we don't have to rely on your house pumps to deliver hot water. We are inside Unit 154. This particular unit has a 250 horse high pressure steam boiler and a power flame burner, and it's designed to run on either gas or number 2 fuel oil, diesel fuel, and so it enables it to be pretty flexible for those users that we don't always necessarily know whether they're going to be able to run on natural gas or number 2 fuel oil. Now, what makes this 250 horse unit, which is about 9,000 pounds per hour, makes it a little bit unique, is that we not only have steam for people that need high pressure steam, but it also enables us to produce hot water, which is this device right here, which comes off our drop steam header and goes into a hot water generator, steam to hot water, so that we can actually create about 180, 200 gallon per minute at 140 or 180 degrees. That enables us to really make this particular Unit 154 very flexible and usable for people that need hot water as well as high pressure steam. All of our safety controls are readily accessible in here, so if you have someone that needs to operate the boiler, they've got room to get around there, and if we have a low water cutoff, manual reset, backup, low water cutoff, it's easy to get to, so it's not incredibly difficult to maintain. Now, back to the burner, I want to show that our controls on this are parallel positioning. These happen to be Siemens controls. And so it's really kind of a current, it's not an antiquated control system. And so even when this is going to be used as a portable, it enables you to have a fairly efficient system running during that period of time that you're using it. So as you can see, we have servo motors here, and these servo motors actually control the air and the oil, and we have another one on our gas line down here. And so they're able to operate fairly high efficiency with low O2 levels. So the unit can be run pretty efficiently for the period of time that they're using it. The other thing that I want to show you is that we operate on 480 volt. We can also operate on 208 volt, and will enable us to be more flexible for that current client, whether they have 208 or 480. We also have combustion air dampers that are interlocked with the burner. So when the burner's not online, the dampers will shut and keep the trailer fairly warm. Even though, as we'll see later, we have a heater in here, it's still nice to be able to have those dampers shut when the burner cycles off or the demand is met. Now, everything in here is single point connection, and we'll see here in a little bit, we're able to actually bring our wiring in a single point. We've got single point connection for steam, for water, fuel oil, gas, all of those components. And the other thing that makes this a very flexible unit, we have pumps in here that will enable us to pump the water to the connected load. So we're not depending on the house pumps at the facility. And we'll see those here in a little bit when we see the other part of the unit. Now, once the unit is set in place and leveled up, and it does have to be level, the boilers have to run level, so we will actually shim the unit up and make sure that it's level, and then we'll continue with the piping. So we got a blowdown separator in here that is water cooled, so the blowdown does not exceed 140 degrees, and by code, and then this will be pumped out, or excuse me, piped out, so that we have the blowdown separator vented to the atmosphere. Our steam goes out, we got condensate return goes out. All the connected piping can be done from outside the trailer. So makes it a very usable and very handy device for installation. Over here is our pumps that we talked about previously that will enable us to pump the hot water that we've generated with the steam to the connected load. And as you can see, they're duplex, so if we have one pump that fails for whatever reason or gets a leaky seal or whatever, we have another pump to do the same thing. All the connections are down on the ground, supply and return, all connected underneath the trailer. So the tie-ins to the building system are done from the bottom of the trailer. So it's a pretty easy way to meet the connected load and tie into it. Now, I also want to show you that we have a feed water pump and tank assembly here, and this is truly a feed water heater. If you look up here, you'll see our steam valve, and the steam valve is heating the water so that we're putting 200-degree water back into our boiler. Now that does two things. Number one, it protects the equipment, makes sure that we're not thermally shocking the equipment, but it also enables us to meet our connected load. If we deliver hot water to the boiler, we're more apt to get the full capacity out of the boiler rather than trying to do it with 100-degree feed water. That is really hard on the boiler, and it really causes our capacity to reduce significantly. Now over here we have the softeners, and if you can take a look, we've got, as you'll see, we've got twin resin tanks and our brine tank, and the resin tanks are continuous feed. So when one tank is regenerating, we've got the second tank, which will feed soft water to the boiler, and then vice versa. So when one's used up, then the other one transfers over, and it's all based on flow rates, and the flow rates is determined by a water meter that sits back in the back that will tell these things when to regenerate. So everything's pretty automated. And of course, this is our brine tank where we put the salt, and so if you have it for any period of time, we'll have the salt right here, which we can use to make the softeners work. Now back in here is all of our electrical, and if you take a look, everything is, we got a transformer so that we can actually do 208 or 460 in a single point position or single point connection from outside. So we tie that in, whether it be 208 or 460, three-phase, and that will then generate our lights and everything to operate this equipment. So it's pretty easy hookup electrically. And of course, everything is done by the National Electrical Code so that we are legitimate to operate in any municipality or any area that we set this boiler. Over here is our feed water pumps for the boilers. And as you can see, they are redundant. We've got duplex pumps here, so if one pump fails, the other one can operate, and either one is totally capable of feeding water to the boiler at the rated capacity that we need. And the panel, the controls are right here, so it's pretty easy to operate, and it's well lit, so it's pretty nice to function. It also has an alarm bell back here, so if you come back over and let's say you don't have anybody in the trailer, you actually have an alarm right here, which will enable us to sound off and say, hey, we got a problem, we need to have somebody take a look at it. As you can see over here, we have a little electric heater that is used to heat the building when it's severely cold outside. Some of the steam lines and the hot water lines in here will generate some heat, but as you can see, everything's pretty well insulated. And if the boiler's off for some period of time, we found it necessary to go ahead and put an electric heater in here to make sure that we don't have any frozen water lines or anything that's going to be a problem. Also over in this corner, this is our this is our cold water meter that actually controls the regeneration of the softeners. And it's wired back in over there so that it makes it function like it's supposed to. We also have chemical treatment pumps here and a chemical treatment controller here so that we can actually put our chemistry in here, oxygen scavenger and all of the things that we need for descalant, anything we need to run the boiler, and that's all integrated into this system. So as you can see, the water level control in the tank, the pumps, everything is pretty much here for a complete boiler system. All the electricals here it really makes it handy for the user whether they want steam or hot water. And like I said, we could do this in the 180 to 200 gallon a minute or 8,600 pounds per hour. So somewhere around 250 horse. So it makes it a very versatile piece of equipment for our customers. Now we're in the back of unit 154, and I want to show you how easy it is to do the bottom blowdown on this. Now we've got the back doors open. It's a nice day. We've got our slow opening valve, our quick opening valve, which are very easy to reach from this level. Now if it was a cold day, we'd have these shut, and you could still get at it very easily. Right now we've got a stub stack stored right here, and this is the way this would be shipped. It's actually bolted down to the floor, but under normal conditions that would not be here. So it's pretty easy to walk around even with these outside doors shut. Now we have two different type of drain routes on this. If you're under normal operation, you're going to go back this way to our blowdown separator, which we looked at earlier, and that will enable us to, under normal conditions, run the blowdown through the blowdown separator so that the excess steam flashes off, and then we waste the bottom blow. But we also have this valve right here, which can be open or shut, and that enables us to do two things. Number one, it gives us a second location to blow down, and it also enables us to drain this once the system is finished, so we make sure we don't freeze anything up. Now one other thing I want to mention when we're back here, you'll see we have a stop button up here, and I didn't point this out earlier, but we have an emergency stop button at the back of the boiler and also at the front of the boiler. So if there was ever a situation, the person get up there can hit that mushroom switch and shut the thing off. So it's very safe from that standpoint as well. Now I want to show some of the connections on this unit 154. This is in all of our portable trailers, the ones that are in a trailer or a container, all have the outside connections. You've got your gas connection right here, so it's pretty easy to bring our gas line to it. We'll walk on over here. We have our hot water supply right here, which is flanged underneath. Very easy to get your hot water lines to. Well, that happens to be the supply, and the returner's right here. So as you can see, it's very easy to pipe to outside of the trailer. We don't have to cut any holes or go through the thing. Over on this side we have our electrical connections. As you can see, there's a 208 volt connection or a 480 volt connection. All goes in basically through the same portal and enables us to go to our transformer and all of our switch gear inside. So it's pretty easy to hook up, whether we're 208 three-phase or 480, we've got the transformer inside and a single point connection. Over here is our water inlet, so this is where we would bring our water, and it goes directly to the softener. So we've got that all set up so that all the connections are done inside. All we need to do is make a connection out here, which is usually done with a flexible hose. Over here we have a connection which I want to point out is our blowdown separator drain. And as you can see underneath here, it's just a flange connection, and that takes care of our bottom blow as well as our surface blow on the boiler. So there's always going to be a maximum of 140 degree water coming out of there. We have a cooling valve inside that's going to make sure that it always is no more than 140 degrees by code. But that still is hot enough. We want to make sure it gets piped correctly to a floor drain or to a trench or something to keep somebody from getting hurt. And so that's there. And then we also have down here our fuel oil lines for supply oil. If we're going to run the boiler off of diesel or number 2 fuel oil, we've got a supply and return to go to a tanker truck or whatever we may be storing the fuel oil in to run the equipment. We've been talking about one of our portable boiler units today, and I wanted to talk to a little bit more about some of the things that will make life a little bit easier for our customers when they need something in a hurry as far as portable steam or hot water. And I want to introduce Ron Palmquist here. Ron is in charge of our portable boiler and portable equipment group. And so I wanted him here because he has developed some of the things that we're going to be showing you, which were the receiving reports. We have a lot of different documents that make sure that the equipment comes in, gets a complete gone through, and when it goes out, it's ready to go out and ready for you to use right off the bat. But one of the things that make it a little bit easier for you is if you have contingency piping. And so what we've been doing for a lot of our customers is going out and piping in all of the things that we need ahead of time. So we have flanges with blank flanges on it so that we're able to tie into their steam, into their water system, into their gas. bring their electrical outside. So that it's all stubbed out and ready for us to come tie into when we need portable steam or hot water in a hurry. We can do the same thing with a chill water system. So if you've got a chiller needs, we can operate that and do that the same way. But it just makes things a lot quicker when we're able to go out and make those connections early on before you really need it in a non-emergency situation. So when you really need this thing fast, any of our portable boiler units, we're able to back up to the building and get you hooked up pretty quickly. So that's the contingency piping plan that a lot of our customers, insurance companies are recommending that they do. And so if you've got a process that depends on steam or chill water or hot water and you can't be down for any period of time, you've got a lot of people standing around because you don't have the infrastructure to support your production, then that would be a good recommendation we would make to you. And Ron would be glad to put some pricing together to help you out on that.